What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale figure related video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly announced final Celebration exclusive for Star Wars Celebration Japan, and that is the Darth Vader Sith Apprentice Artisan Anakin figure. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, is this the long-awaited Darkside Anakin 2.0 Artisan? And I have a theory about that I will share with you a little bit later in this video. But now, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Let's take a deep dive into these prototype photos so I can share my thoughts on it. I want to zoom in because I do want to get a close-up look at this head sculpt and those beautiful Sith eyes. One thing I want to say right off the bat, these are not accurate to Revenge of the Sith. They don't look correct to that one scene that we see in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin's eyes turn. I actually think the ones on the previous Darkside Anakin figure that we got are more accurate than these. These actually look like, to me, what comes with the Maul figure that just recently released, the 2.0 Maul. I think these look like the eyes that come with that one. With that being said, though, I do think they look very menacing and very awesome on this figure. Again, I have a theory for why this is the case, and I will share that towards the end of this video. But just at first glance, with what we're presented with, I do think this looks awesome. Also, I do like that they've made some subtle tweaks to the head sculpt, especially for those of us who either already have the first Artisan Anakin in hand or still on pre-order. You can see there's a subtle difference with the mouth there. The mouth is just slightly opened up, which I do like. And again, I know it's not going to be for everybody, as we always say about open mouth stuff, but it's very, very subtle. I think if you kind of have that head tilted forward a little bit, the rolling eyeballs adjusted closer to the brows, I think that's going to look very, very menacing. And I actually saw a photo where it was adjusted that way, and I think it looks really good. But first glance here, I think the sculpt looks awesome. I love the slight adjustments they made to the sculpt. The hair, it does look a bit lighter in these photos. Not light like the first Artisan Anakin prototype, but it does look lighter, which is nice to see. I hope the actual final product looks like that. In terms of numbers on this one, guys, I know you guys are probably curious about that. There are 2,500 total of these worldwide. 1,500 of those are actually the Japan exclusive. Now, the difference between the worldwide exclusive, the Hot Toys exclusive, and the Japan exclusive is literally just a box sleeve. Same thing they did with that animated looking Vader that they recently announced for Celebration as well. Same concept, it's just a different box sleeve. I personally want that box sleeve because I think it's really cool and it's a nice little touch, especially for my favorite character of all time. But is it a must? No, and I think that's a good way to do it. This is going to be a very, very difficult release to get, guys. There's no sugarcoating that. 2,500 total worldwide. The last Artisan Anakin release was rough when it went up on Sideshow. It was very difficult to get, so I imagine this is going to be even worse because there's less of them. So keep that in mind, guys. There's going to be a lot of heartache and a lot of heartbreak with this one because it's very difficult to get. With that being said, I will be trying my absolute best personally to get it through somebody who's going to Star Wars Celebration Japan because I want the Japan exclusive, and I know the last time I did miss on Sideshow for the regular Artisan Anakin, so I'm not trusting it. But again, as I'm looking at this sculpt here, guys, I'm not really seeing any changes at all with the outfit. The outfit looks the same to me. The head sculpt, I do like it. I think it looks very good. The hair looks good here as well. Obviously, we saw with the recent Artisan Anakin, they did load the hair with a ton of products, so I imagine they're going to see a bit more product in the hair come the final product release for this figure. So just keep that in mind. Just have that expectation because that's what we saw with the recently released Artisan Anakin light side version. But yeah, the head sculpt's looking awesome. The eyes look awesome. Again, they are not accurate to Revenge of the Sith. Maybe it's time now that I can kind of share my theory with you guys. Because they're calling this, and you can see it here on the screen, the Darth Vader Sith Apprentice and not the Darkside Anakin Artisan Edition, we have the inclusion of a red blade here, as you can see, which we did not see in Revenge of the Sith. I think this is more so like a exclusive special release from Hot Toys. I don't think this is our Darkside Anakin 2.0. I gotta be honest with you. And I know that might sound crazy because you're like, well, Connor, he's got the red eyes. He's got the Sith eyes. This has to be Darkside Anakin 2.0. I don't think that it is. I don't think that it is. It's surprising to me that it's limited to only 2,500. You know, the Darkside Anakin 2.0 is so sought after, and a lot of people are just waiting and waiting for that one. I still think it's going to happen, guys. I can see it. I can see them doing another one with eyes that are more accurate to the film, Revenge of the Sith, and maybe not giving us the lava droid base again, but like the platform that floats in the lava that Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on. I just have it in my head, guys. I feel it in my gut, you know. Happy to be wrong about that, but just the signs are pointing to this not being that Darkside Anakin 2.0. So I do think that there's more. Is that going to stop me from getting this one? Absolutely not. Would I put all of my chips in that basket for that theory? Absolutely not. I'm not telling you guys to do that. But if I was a betting man, I would bet that we're going to see another Artisan Anakin, a proper dark side Anakin 2.0 with that Artisan rooted hair. But with that being said, like I said, this guy looks awesome. I actually love that they included the red lightsaber, and a lot of people weren't sure. Reading the description, they weren't sure if it does actually include blue lightsaber blades. It does. So it does include kind of everything you would need to make a Sith-looking Anakin. And I kind of like the idea of having a red lightsaber blade with this one, especially with my thought of maybe seeing another Artisan Darkside Anakin down the road very soon. I think this would be a nice way to set it apart. And I know for a lot of people, it's like, okay, well, if they're going to do that, I want one or the other. I don't want both. And I totally understand that. For me, I want both. I want both, guys. You know me, Anakin, I take them all. I take them all. So I would love to see a true Darkside Anakin 2.0 with the proper eyes. If you don't want to wait for that and you just want to get this one and call it a day, OT Customs, I know, I'm sure among many other companies, OT Customs is doing Sith eyes that are correctly accurate to Revenge of the Sith. I believe they're like $65 from their website. That might be a great option if you're like, cool, I'm happy getting this one and swapping those eyes. I think that'll be a pretty good look. But again, for me and for what seems like many people seeing the reactions on Facebook and other social media platforms, a lot of people still think this is pretty awesome and they're going to be gunning for it. It's hard to say, like, I'm getting this one because it's so tough to get. You know, it's going to be very, very difficult to get. Even my buddies who are going to Celebration Japan are panicking a little bit, but I think they'll be fine. The one thing I want to add on, and I did kind of mention this earlier, again, no updates with any of the outfit as far as I could see. No mention of leather for the tabards. These look like the same pleather tabards. You guys know my thought on that. That's a bit disappointing. I feel like for the price of these figures and the fact that it's an Artisan figure, it certainly should be real leather all around. So that's definitely still going to be a complaint of mine until the end of time, until they update that. But yeah, this sculpt just looks awesome here, guys. And as I'm looking at the hair, seeing how light the color of the hair is, I'm like, it has to be too good to be true, right? The final product has to have a ton of product in the hair to make it darker. Like, it just looks, this hair looks better than the Artisan Anakin that just released. It really does. So I'm very, very curious to see how this pans out. Again, I'm going to be gunning for this one for sure. But man, does he look awesome. The shape of the hair looks really nice. But again, this is the prototype. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, you know. But it does look really good. The details look really nice. You know, even in these prototype photos, you're seeing a lot of detail that maybe was missing from the final product photos for the regular Artisan Anakin. So it's got me excited, guys. Anytime there's something new with Anakin, whether it's the Clone Wars version, this one's being compared to his appearance in the Ahsoka show because these eyes do look accurate to how his eyes look in the Ahsoka show. It's hard to say, though, because weirdly enough, originally when this dropped, it did say Revenge of the Sith mentioned in the actual description of the figure. They have since removed that from their Facebook post, but I believe it is still present directly on the Hot Toys website. So I don't know if Hot Toys was like, okay, look, everybody is now, they're panicking, saying this isn't accurate to Revenge of the Sith. Maybe they removed that, and again, you know, that kind of plays to my theory that there's going to be a Darkside Anakin 2.0 separate from this, but again, that's just a theory, of course. The one thing that I don't really like about this is the base. I think this base is stupid. I really do. I don't get the inspiration. I think this is absurdly wide, and you know, wide is not good because when you're taking up room in your display, wide space is very precious. So not a huge fan of this. It does look like it's just a separate piece though that goes on the base, which is definitely good because I will not be using this. I think it looks ridiculous. Kudos to Hot Toys, I guess, for trying to do something a little bit different, but it doesn't work on this. I just don't like it. What I do like, though, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, I love that exclusive box, man. It's calling to me. That exclusive box is calling to me. Again, if, like, your only option is to get it through Sideshow, it's just a box cover at the end of the day. It's literally just the slip cover. And I'm not even saying I'm guaranteed to get one from Japan, but I'm working my magic trying to get one, and I really hope that I do. Because you guys know, and I mention it all the time, and I'll never stop talking about it, I'm an Anakin simp, so I have to have the best of the best when it comes to Anakin. So, yeah, he does look really awesome, guys. You know, some weird decisions here with those eyes, but again, my theory is we're going to see a Darkside Anakin 2.0. proper Darkside Anakin 2.0 down the line. And I think Hot Toys is smart with this one when it comes to business, because they know it's going to sell out regardless of whether they change anything or not. And he does look really cool. Like I said, it is a cool figure. I mean, what's there not to like about it? It's freaking Anakin Skywalker with Sith eyes. I mean, you really can't go wrong. It's a cool looking figure. And if the final product looks nearly as good as this, I'll be very happy. You could see in terms of what's included with the figure, you basically get everything you get with the light side version. So expect that with Sith eyes and some extra red lightsaber blades. Now, I will say too, in this photo here, just kind of like the Deadpool recently where they didn't show that it came with extra eyes, if you actually go on the Hot Toys website, it does say that it comes with a blue lightsaber blade as well. I guess the InMotion and the regular one. So you're probably thinking I'm crazy saying that, but it does list it on the website, which makes sense. I mean, like, why would you leave that out, right? You've made it so many times, you might as well include it. But yeah, here's the Japan exclusive version, again, with simply just an extra box sleeve, a different box sleeve, rather. And then here's the edition that you would get anywhere else that is going to be available. Obviously, for us in the US, it's going to be Sideshow. So I do have a couple photos of this figure actually in the booth before we close out this video. So these are some photos taken by @BigMaple is his name. So shout out to Big Maple. Again, even with this crappy lighting here, I believe this is at Toy Sapiens. He's looking awesome, guys. I do like that subtle open mouth. I think it looks good. It's something different. It's not going to be for everybody. I totally understand that. But it's for me, and that's all that matters, because I'm going to be the one spending all the money to get this figure, you know? But I totally understand the criticism. But I think he looks good, guys. Like I said, no real updates to the outfit or anything, as we can see here. But it does look pretty dang awesome. So I'm pretty happy with how he's looking. Here's a farther back shot. It's crazy. Even in this shot right here, it kind of looks like the neck and the head are all one piece, which is what the original Artisan Anakin prototype was like before they changed it. But I've been told by many people it's just fooling your eyes. Those who have gone to Toy Sapiens in person said that it actually is two pieces, which is what I think they should do. Honestly, I don't want to have to pull the back of the hair off. There's already enough problems with this hair, like getting it right, and, you know, I just don't want to deal with that. So I think that's a smart decision personally. But that side angle looks pretty nice. Pop over here. Here's some more photos here from Big Maple from the front. The outfit is very poorly futzed, as you can see here. It looks a bit on the chunkier side, so that's nothing on Big Maple's part. He's just taking a look at it here in the display at Toy Sapiens. But yeah, here's the final photo, guys, before we close out the video here. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of this figure in the comments down below. Are you going to be gunning for this? Are you going to be jumping straight to Japan? How many of you guys are actually going to Star Wars Celebration Japan? I'm not, unfortunately, so I am at the mercy of friends of mine that I'm reaching out to try to get this and all of the other exclusives, because I'm crazy and I love Star Wars, so I want everything that they've announced thus far. Apart from the Grogu, I'm not interested in that, but yes, so guys, I'm sticking to it. My theory is we're going to see another Darkside Anakin down the road. Artisan, of course, and potentially a sculpted. Who knows? I'm sure eventually they'll pull those sculpted versions out of their hat for the light side and dark side, because I do think a new one is justified now, because the new sculpt is way better and looks way more like Hayden, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know what you think of this figure in the comments down below. See ya.